And welcome to Movie Takes. I'm Dean McFadden with,
James.
and today's our episode on Fantastic Four. Psych, got you. We didn't see Fantastic Four. You
No
didn't
one did.
either.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
did.
no one did. uh,
I've never not cared about a movie like this much ever. I don't think like as far as like movies that I should want to go see.
yeah.
Nothing.
No, I've never had to remind myself so many times that a Marvel movie was coming out. Like a week before it comes out, it's like, is that out yet? Is, yeah, no, it's not. Oh, okay.
The only reason I even consider going to see it is because like about 2 weeks before it came out. LP from Run the Jewels did like one small piece of the end score, and I'm a big fan of them, so I'm like, hey, that would be kind of cool. I've always wanted him to score a movie.
Who is it?
Um, he's a like indie kind of producer, musician, rapper, all that kind of wonderful stuff. Most people are fans. You haven't heard of him, I'm sure.
But no, nothing about the trailers made it look appetizing at all. And it turns out 80% of the trailers weren't in the movie.
Well, just from watching the trailer, I knew, like, I had no doubt that it was going to just absolutely be just destroyed by the studio. Like, no matter how good the actual movie was,
Yeah.
I knew that the studio would destroy it. And that, from what I've read, that seems to be what happened. I think that like the writer and director and a whole like several other people have all come out and said this was not the final movie that we
Well,
wanted.
no, the director, Josh Trank, whatever his name is, uh, tweeted out like days before the movie came out, like a year ago, I had a fantastic cut of this movie that would have gotten great reviews. So, and then he quickly deleted it, but it's the internet, so it still exists.
Yeah, I mean,
But no,
at some point, I'm probably gonna watch it. For the same reason that I watched was it Wolverine Origins?
well, I saw that opening weekend. I saw that day one. Like me and all my friends rushed from high school once class was out to go see that movie, and it was the best part about that movie were the opening credits. They were actually really cool, well put together montage credits of Wolverine and Sabretooth fighting through wars. That was the best part about the entire movie.
Yeah, the thing that I will always remember of that movie is just the fact that the version of it that got leaked had the incomplete special effects in it, and that was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, I never watched that, but that movie made so much money opening weekend compared to Fantastic Four, which made less than the first two Fantastic Four movies did when they opened. So
So anyway, the a plan for this episode was for us to talk about The World's End. Um,
that was a month ago.
that was a month ago. Yeah, we've had life happen. We've had scheduling issues happen, and so now
Also, we're
we're.
lazy. Also, we're a little bit lazy.
Hey, I was on vacation. I had to go to Texas. You had to come to Arkansas. There was lots of driving and
Yeah,
not being home, and
I had a cat that went into labor and gave birth to seven kittens.
yeah, so
We
that was our last delay.
that was that was it was supposed to happen last Thursday, and then my cat went into labor in my closet, and they're now seven very cute kittens just squirming around and rolling around, not sure what's going on. Their eyes are not open yet, but yeah, that was our last play.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
originally Matt was going to join us, but that obviously hasn't happened because he's not speaking. Um, so
he's just sitting quietly waiting to be addressed. So Matt, what'd you think of the movie? Well, it was good. I appreciated it. Um,
anyway, so I guess what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of catch up. We're going to talk about The World's End for a second. We're going to talk about a few other movies that we both watched in the last month, and just in general, just have fun.
all right, so The World's End. This came out 2 years ago. I remember I saw it in Indianapolis. I actually went and saw three movies in one night. I saw Kick-Ass 2, which wasn't good. I saw The World's End, which at the time I thought it was okay. It was decent. It was good. Then I saw You're Next, which was awesome. Uh, when I saw The World's End last month, that was the first time I'd watched it in 2 years. What do you remember about it originally 2 years ago?
Um, I remember enjoying it. I like Shaun of the Dead, but not as much as many people do. I really like Hot Fuzz, so I
Yeah.
was pretty excited about it. There was a theater within an hour or so of where I live that was playing it, so we me and some friends actually went and saw it at the Paradiso in Memphis on our way back from Nashville. Um, so that was like kind of the end to a road trip, and that was kind of cool.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think the more I think about it, and, having seen it a couple times since then, I think it's my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy.
Hmm.
Yeah, you know, I I feel like it pulls together different elements of Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz into a more cohesive, package. Um, even though it's obviously not like, you know, there's not actual continuity, but the filmmaking style,
Hmm.
comes together in its best version for me. Um, and I really like the storytelling. I really like the major themes of the movie. The whole like, you know, kind of returning to the scene kind of thing where
Yeah.
you're reliving what to you is a happy point in your life. That
Your glory days.
yeah, yeah. And I like the friendship aspects of it. I like you know the big twist halfway through. I thought was really well done, and actually the fight scenes I thought I really really enjoyed.
No, okay, that's because I remember when I first saw it, I was unimpressed by the fight scenes because it felt at the time anyway, each fight scene just felt like just a retread of the previous one, or the very first fight in the bathroom. It just seemed like everyone just there's nothing that really separated them. And after the second time I saw it, I didn't feel that way as much, but I still wasn't impressed by the action in general. Um, one of the things I did like was the part where Edgar Wright's character, not Edgar Wright,
Yeah,
Nick Frost, where he gets the bar stools and breaks them and uses them like the Hulk would two cars. I did like that, but uh, yeah, I think that might have been one of the things I didn't like about the first time was like the fighting wasn't very unique from set piece to set piece. And I think the beginning of the movie, where Gary King is narrating what happened 20 years ago, I felt like that was a weird way to start the movie. I'm just not a fan of voiceovers to start movies in general. Like I just saw American Ultra the other night, and that's essentially how the movie starts with the main character giving voiceover explaining to you his life situation right before the story starts. Just it's always felt lazy, but I think those were my two biggest nitpicks. But after the second viewing, one thing that really impressed me was Simon Pegg because he acted his butt off
yeah,
towards the end of this movie.
yeah. That's what
Like,
I was gonna bring up is the physical comedy that he brings into it without it being too over the top is great. Like there's one scene where he just goes to jump over a fence and just falls flat on his face and just pops right back up and just keeps going.
well, that's a reference to both Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's the acting on it is just spot on. He's he's on for the entire movie, and he really drives that vibe of that, that, like I said, the returning to the scene type of vibe with it really well.
Well, but I was talking about like at the very end when he's in the world's end with him and
Yes.
Nick Frost, and they're finally like he's saying what's wrong with him or whatever, and he just kind of breaking down. And I was like, that's the best acting performance I'd seen out of Simon Pegg so far in his career that I thought. He it was kind of gut wrenching. He was sad. He's at the end of his rope, and I mean, essentially, this movie, he was going to commit suicide in this movie. That's
Yeah.
that's that's what. But but I listened to the director's commentary pretty much right after I watched the movie, and that have you watched the director's commentary?
No, I haven't.
Okay, but well, yeah, it was with Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, and it opened my eyes a little bit to more about what was going on with the movie, especially like with symbolism and stuff like that. But I mean, I liked it more. I'm not sure what I would have changed aside from the opening and the fight choreography.
It's funny. Whenever I went and saw it in theater with some friends, Matt was one of the people that was with me, and
Mm.
he actually had to run to the bathroom at the very end of it and missed
Oh,
everything. Like, he left during the final, like, car, not really car chase, or they're driving away from the explosion.
oh, okay.
He left during that, so he missed the entire, like, post-apocalyptic part of it.
Oh, wow. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, always go to the bathroom before the movie. Oh, oh, did you have to like? How hard was it to explain to him what happened?
I think, when we saw it, it was right at the end of the theatrical run, so I think that he ended up, like, not seeing it. Like, I don't think we told him about it. I think he decided he wanted to wait until it actually came out and to watch it.
That's horrible. That keeps you from having so many conversations about a movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was.
I can't remember the last time I did. Oh no, I think the last time I had to use the restroom in the middle of a movie I hadn't seen was War Horse, and didn't feel guilty about it. That wasn't a good movie. Uh, that's one of the few Steven Spielberg movies I don't care for, or at least the first 30 minutes, where it's all sappy boy and a horse on a farm stuff. Everything after that's fine, but
So, on the subject of Simon Pegg, um, how did how did you feel about his performance in Mission Impossible 5, which we also both watched?
no, it was good. I'm glad he's found. I'm glad he's found a place in that franchise, especially seeing as how he was a latecomer to it. He didn't show up in it till the third one in Mission Impossible 3, which came out in '06. And so him and Ving Rhames are the only actors who have appeared in more than one Mission Impossible movie outside of Tom Cruise. But no, he's good. He's got some good comedic presence to the film. He did have really one good the scene where he's basically speaking for the villain, who I couldn't tell you the villain's name, which is really the worst part about the Mission Impossible movies. You can never think of the villain's name like a week later. But I think I can remember the Mission Impossible 3 villain. Um, I can't right now. But no, Simon Pegg was good. I enjoyed Mission Impossible 5 a lot more than the fourth one, which I watched for the first time since it came out in theaters about a week before I saw Mission Impossible 5.
See, as we've discussed before, I really like the fourth one, um, mainly just because of the way they kind of adapted to rapidly changing, like, real world technology, and I thought that was you know a good, thoughtful like storytelling element was to kind of contrast the spy tech with not real world tech. But as far as like the this latest one, is it Rogue Nation?
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. It honestly not super memorable, but like my thoughts like as like the credits were rolling and everything was, we need more of these movies. This was very enjoyable. I very much, it was.
Oh no, it was a fun ride. So one thing I hate about how they market these Mission Impossible movies, or this one anyway, most of the marketing was entirely around the plane stunt, which is 2 minutes into the movie. I hate that. Uh, your biggest stunt should not be the opener. It should be second act or at least third act. That ticked me off, but it was still a good stunt. Um, uh, but like where this contrasted for me with Ghost Nation.
Ghost Protocol. Yeah, I've been calling it Rogue Protocol like since the first trailer. So don't feel bad to confuse the titles.
Ghost Protocol is like that movie was. It had some nice moments, but that movie was all about stunts. That's all. The purpose of that movie was, how do we get from stunt A to stunt B? And like I tune out. I pretty much tuned out during the whole skyscraper climbing scenes, like because it didn't. Sure, it looks cool, but it really didn't do anything for the movie. And neither did the car chase through the desert in the blinding snowstorm that looked pretty bad.
I mean, let's not pretend that the Mission Impossible movies at this point don't exist to be Tom Cruise's extreme vacation.
No, I don't know. I don't agree with that. Those are those okay, maybe a little bit, but I think the James Bond movies are more guilty of that. It's like, what exotic locale can we go to this time, Bond? Which is funny because I watched the first two James Bond movies over the last couple months, and that's very much those are guilty of just stringing along moments to make Sean Connery look cool. There's not a good plot to them at all. Just not, yeah. Doctor No and From Russia with Love are not good movies, but no, like we said earlier, like I love Mission Impossible 3. That's a very effective emotional through line for the entire movie for Ethan Hunt's character. He doesn't care about saving the world in that movie. All he cares about is saving his wife. That's the purpose of the movie. You're never even told what the MacGuffin of the movie, a rabbit's foot, is. It's just a thing. It's a rabbit's foot, and all Ethan knows that he's got to keep it out of Owen Davian's hand. That's his name, Owen Davian. But Mission Impossible 4, like I have no idea who the villain was or what his purpose was or anything. Do you remember in Ghost Protocol when the Kremlin blew up?
I believe so.
Like, okay, that movie came out four years ago. That explosion has not aged well. Like you should go back and watch it. The explosion does not. It has not aged well. Mostly with the smoke work and stuff. But no. Rogue Nation was a lot more fun. It's more. It's got a better pacing to it, and I can't even remember her name. The lead actress in the movie. Why can't I think of her name? Rebecca Ferguson. Rebecca Ferguson. She plays Ilsa. She was amazing. I loved her. I think she's definitely the best actress that's been a part of the series so far. And I say that having not seen Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah, and the thing that I really enjoyed about her role is that they didn't force really a romance between her and Tom Cruise. Like
No,
there was,
yeah,
it was this like mutual respect, friendship
yeah.
kind of thing.
Well,
Which
there's that one moment where they're in the airport and she says to him, just leave this and this, just leave with me. There's that one brief moment where they try to allude to it. But if you go off the last two movies, Ethan's married, so they don't even mention that in this movie. So maybe he's not anymore.
yeah,
But
and well, the thing is, like for me, it's such a when you're obviously going to compare these kind of movies to like the James Bond movies, and the big turnoff that I have with so many of those is the absolutely soulless romance type thing with women,
yeah,
and
well
then
that's different with the Daniel Craig movies. I think with all
the
of them,
was it the most
except
recent
okay, except Skyfall. That
that
no,
one.
no, no. M was the Bond girl in Skyfall.
But even then, like the woman that popped up in I think Hong Kong and then was like immediately killed,
Yeah,
just it honestly left such a bad taste in my mouth that it tainted the entire movie.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It just felt made me kind of feel sick.
But one like I just said with M, I think aside from Casino Royale, where there was just one Bond girl, I think the three since wait the two since then, God, Quantum of Solace and Skyfall, they were able to balance. They had two Bond girls. There's the one that's the eye candy Bond gets to fool around with, and then there's the other one who represents the emotional, actual plot-driven, character-driven Bond girl. In Quantum of Solace, there was the redhead secret agent, I think, who died after being covered in oil, I believe. And then there was the other one played by she was Russian. I know she's Russian, but she was also a secret agent who represented a mirror image of James Bond. And I thought that was good. He didn't sleep with her. He just gave her a peck on the cheek at the end of the movie. But with Skyfall, you had the girl who showed up in Shanghai or Hong Kong. Like I can't even remember her name. She served her purpose and then died. But the real Bond girl of that movie was M. M is the one that finally gets to go somewhere with James Bond on an adventure, and ultimately she dies. But she was the true Bond girl of that movie. And yeah. But Eva Green in Casino Royale is by far my favorite Bond girl ever.
So I think we've both seen Ant-Man, right?
Yeah, I saw it twice.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about it.
Nope.
Cool. So what did you think about it?
You start. You go first.
It was, the one of the things that I have been kind of looking forward to and kind of excited about was with the Marvel movies is how they've kind of gone this route of making different genre type movies
Hmm.
with the different superheroes, and I think they're self aware enough to understand that making big world changing movies every time they have a movie comes out um, is going to just lead to problems and make things more complicated and make things not stand alone on their own. So
Hmm.
I'm really, really enjoyed that you had this mostly self-contained story. I like the heist elements of it. It's still, I feel like that the kind of rules of this character weren't established very well.
Yeah, I agree.
It was very much a here's all this crap that I can do kind of thing. Especially the controlling the ants there was never even a token explanation for it. Really, it was just you can control them.
He has the thing in his ear that helps him communicate with them.
Yeah, but still,
Sound waves or something. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just that was kind of weird, but I thought that I really enjoyed it. It was what I was hoping for. So I was pretty satisfied with it overall, and I did enjoy the small touches of the broader universe.
Yeah. The one stroke. Spoiler. Falcon from the Captain America Winter Soldier shows up. Uh, I'm split on it because that moment where Scott goes to get that whatever he went to get, because that wasn't properly explained, or it was just like, oh, here's something we need for the heist, go get it. And it winds up being at the Avengers facility in New York. It's cool. It's cool. Oh, he to show that he can in fact go one on one with a member of one of the lower tier vendors. But it was cool, but it just felt tacked on. Like, oh yeah, here's something to tie into the larger universe, because I really, I really didn't like the way they set up that whole sequence. Oh, we need this thing to block a signal, I think it was, and it's just like they just kind of brushed it away. It's like, oh, I got it, and it was over. Um,
Yeah, I
but
mean the ties between that scene and the rest of the movie were definitely pretty weak, but I still enjoyed the scene.
oh yeah, I mean, if you separated it off from the rest of the movie, it's a really fun sequence. But how you set that up was very half-assed. I mean, it really was. What you said with the rules not making sense. This movie, Ant-Man was very conflicted over whether Scott Lang was a master criminal, or if the thing he did to get into prison was just a one-time thing. I don't think they could establish his level of ability on that very well. Like, it felt confused when it came to that, and I think that kind of made him suffered a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean well for me it wasn't. It was just mainly that it was they didn't even really make an effort to kind of establish like so much like a lot of the other kinds powers that you have out there have a you know an explanation, even if they're kind of silly. They work within the universe. Iron Man he's super smart, but he also has the arc reactor thing, at least at the beginning. The Thor is a god, all that sort of stuff. Whereas Ant Man is, here's a super cool suit that, oh yeah, it can do these things too.
Well, but also Scott Lang, he's a criminal, but we're going to kind of whiffle off on what kind of criminal he is. That's the part that, like, the way other characters interacted with him made it seem like he was a master criminal, but the way he acted and talked about himself, it just seemed as if what he had done to get into prison was just a one-off deal which is weird. He's like, he worked for that company. He was some sort of tech guy, and then he broke into someone's computer and stole files. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was so.
Yeah. What did you think of Michael Pena's character?
Stole the movie.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh, absolutely stole them. Like, they better do a Marvel one shot of his character. I don't know what he'd be doing, but I want like a 10-minute short film of Michael Pena playing Lewis. Yeah, he played Lewis.
Like, I hope he gets, whenever they have like whatever the next big Marvel movie with all the different characters is Civil War.
Yeah.
I hope that the next time that Ant-Man shows up in a broader movie, that they give it Michael Pena's character just one shot.
Just a shot. Just
like him just responding to something.
Yeah, he doesn't even have to say anything. He just gives you a facial expression. No, which, Ant-Man, it was originally supposed to be directed by the guy who directed the movie we just talked about. Damn. What was his name? Edgar Wright. There we go. All right. It was originally supposed to be directed by Edgar Wright. Him and Marvel came to a disagreement like a month before the movie was supposed to go into production. But from everything I remember reading about the movie after it came out, a lot of the stuff in the movie people assumed was left over from Edgar Wright was actually like the brainchild of Peyton Reed. And I think one of those was the sequences where Lewis is explaining how he got information.
Yeah, yeah.
Which were the hilarious. I love that he's just like what, low middle class. What I don't know how to describe him, but I love that this thief or whatever is actually a very highbrow kind of guy. He goes to art museums. He goes to wine tasting.
Yeah.
And he gets sidetracked and talks about the wine.
I really enjoyed it. I hope for more films that have that same kind of scope for Marvel, and have that same vibe too. Like just not not super serious, but not so lighthearted that nothing has any weight to it.
Well, I don't. Okay, you get Civil War coming up next year, which is basically Avengers 2.5.
Which is honestly a little weird that they're doing such a big thing within within one of the characters' film lines, I guess.
A little bit, but I mean, because the actual next Avengers movie are the Infinity War movies, which is when you'll finally see Thanos showing up and all that.
Yeah.
So, but in this movie, as far as I know, Thor won't be in it. Hulk won't be in it. So I think Matt said it, like they've taken the heavy hitters out of the story. So there won't be cosmic significance to the movie. It'll probably be more grounded than Age of Ultron was.
Is it confirmed that Spider-Man's going to be in this one?
Yes, he is.
Good.
So yeah, we'll get to see him. But you get Civil War with Adventures 2.5. Then you get Doctor Strange later next year. And that'll deal in the weird aspect of. I'm not familiar with Doctor Strange, but I guess magic.
I think that what I've read is that Doctor Strange is gonna kind of introduce like magic into the universe.
Yeah,
beyond what you have with the Asgardians and stuff.
Yeah, and then I don't know what's. I think Doctor Strange. What is it? Oh, the year after that we'll get Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Which I think where Thanos will actually become the threat that the heroes of the film deal with before they'll be the last step between Earth and Thanos in that movie. I think we get Black Panther before before Infinity War. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up. But all this is going on. We still got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter Season 2, the Netflix TV shows, which are, especially the Netflix TV shows, they're supposed to be the more grounded street level of the Marvel Universe. But I don't know if we'll get a movie with the limited scale of Ant-Man in the near future. So
cool. I think the last movie that we were wanting to talk about is you finally got around to seeing Inside Out.
Yes, I did. After it came out 2 months ago, and I got to go see it Monday night, I believe. So, and I've been hit or miss on going to see Pixar movies the last few years. After Toy Story 3, I didn't see Brave. I didn't see Cars 2. Um,
It's
and
probably
then
the best.
I did see Monsters University, which was really good. I loved it. And then there was nothing last year. And so we get Inside Out this year. And it was so good. It's a very heartwarming movie with some good messages in it. A great lead cast. I don't know. Yeah, Amy Poehler was perfectly cast as Joy. That was her. Um, but it's odd where Pixar has I don't except aside from the Incredibles movie, they haven't had a film where a human was the main protagonist of it, unless I'm forgetting something. Because it's weird because joy and all the emotions are the protagonists, but the girl is also protagonist in a weird sort of way. But I really did love it. Uh, it's really nice to see Pixar just get to be creative, and I teared up a few times, especially in scenes related to Bing Bong, uh, who was really fun. What did you think of it? I'm just
Yeah,
rambling.
yeah, I really liked it. I think my wife and I went and saw it back when it first came out, like the first week it was out,
Hmm.
and no, it was really good. It was one of, you know, the concept of it. I think is one of the best Pixar, concepts that Pixar has
Hmm.
had. The illustration of the different, your aspects of your personality, and the way emotions and stuff, you know kind of control you is was just really really well done. And I forget what it was. There's one podcast I listened to. It's been a while back, where they talked about just how like having that kind of visualization process, you know, could really help communication with kids on their emotions and their
Hmm.
you know being able to say anger is in control right now and that sort of thing.
It's okay. It's okay to be sad. Don't shame people for having emotions. Um, but I really did relate to this movie because she's 11 years old in this movie, and then she's 11, she moves from Minnesota to San Francisco. As soon as the sequence of them moving started, it's like, oh man, I've been there because when I was 9, I moved from Texas to Arkansas and went through a lot of the same things that she did when it came to going to a new school, uh, just being not having friends for a long time. Um, so that really hit home for me on a few levels. I didn't run away from home, um, but I mean I got into fights at school and stuff.
Well, I mean, if you run away from home in Arkansas, you just end up in a field.
Depends on where you live in Arkansas. And yeah, I lived near fields, but I also lived right next to the highway. But but no, there was a lot to relate to it, and I I loved um one of my favorite sequences was when they went into the dream land or whatever, where they basically Hollywood, where they were producing dreams. I loved that sequence, especially watching Bill Heater's character watching the dreams as they're played in the headquarters. That was one of my favorite sequences. What were do you remember what your favorite parts were?
I, I enjoyed that. I really like the abstract thought part of
Yeah,
it. Yeah, that was really enjoyable. Um, I mean, honestly, like I just kind of enjoyed the whole thing. Like, not really specific on it. It's just the entire way through. Like, I don't really have any complaints on it. I just really enjoyed it.
did you catch the Chinatown joke?
Yes, I did.
I wouldn't have gotten it if I hadn't have seen Chinatown for this podcast.
Yes.
I really wouldn't have. Forget it, Jake. It's Cloud Town. Um, but no, I liked Anger. Like him reading the newspaper and the headline is basically stating what's going on. First day of school. Um, what else? It was a really good movie. I can't wait to watch it again. And we're getting another Pixar movie later this year with The Good Dinosaur, I believe it's called. So we've never had two Pixar movies in 1 year, and it's because The Good Dinosaur was pushed back. It was supposed to be out last year. Um, so, but how would you rank Inside Out with the other Pixar movies you've seen?
Um, it's tough. Or honestly, like all of the Toy Story movies, I really love. I really liked Finding Nemo when it came out. I haven't seen it in a while. Um,
That came out in 2000. When did it come out? Look it up real quick.
2000, like,
Three, I want to say.
yeah, yeah, 2003.
And the sequel's coming out in 2 years. So that's going to be 14 years in between the movie and the sequel. I think that's longer than the gap between any of the Toy Story films.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm uh, with the exception of Cars 2, like I just enjoy pretty much every Pixar film that I've seen. There's a few that I haven't seen. There's a few that I'm, you know, it's the ones that I can remember. There's a few like the I haven't seen. Is it Brave, a Pixar film?
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, I haven't seen Brave.
That's a weird thing. I probably would have gone to see it, but that summer, I graduated that summer from college. My grandma gave me this gift card to Malco Theaters, $200. And so that whole summer, I was constantly in the theater. I was constantly seeing the trailer for that movie. I was tired of it by the time the movie came out. And but after seeing it so many times, I was like, I finally realized that this is not going to be a good movie. And from everything I've heard, it just isn't. Bleh. It's a very meh movie. And that's a movie where the director was fired like halfway through production on it. So, yeah, never saw it. Haven't seen Cars 2. I like the first Cars. I'm a NASCAR fan. I like that movie, but I didn't feel the need for there to be a sequel.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first Cars. I sat in a room while Cars 2 was on the television once and fell asleep. And it was really bad.
And they're coming out with the Cars 3. They're working on it. Yay! So before we wrap up, is there anything else you've seen that you want to note real quick or recommend?
Not really. Watched some TV shows. I watched the first season of iZombie, and that was really good. I just started watching a few episodes of Fresh Off the Boat, which is a lot more enjoyable.
I highly recommend that movie. That show. It's coming back for a second season.
Yeah, it's significantly more enjoyable than I thought it would be. And I mean, really, that's it.
I a few nights ago I watched a movie on Netflix called Comet. It's an independent movie that came out last year, starring Justin Long, and I believe her name is Emmy Rossum. She was in the Phantom of the Opera movie. And the best way to describe this movie, it's like 500 Days of Summer, in that the narrative is jumping back and forth in a timeline, and but it's also the love child of the Before Sunrise trilogy. Have you seen those movies? Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight?
No, I haven't.
Pro tip: rent these movies or whatever, and your wife will love you. You will get wife points. Um, that's a trilogy that stars Ethan Hawke and I can't remember the lead actress's name, but that trilogy takes place over the course of 20 years, and the movies are essentially just this couple meeting each other on a train and then walking, I believe, through Paris for a night, just talking. And it's the same way in the second one, Before Sunset, where it's about 10 years later or something like that, and they meet up again, and then Before Midnight, they're a married couple, and so that's years later. But yeah, Comet, starring Justin Long, it's like that. It's a much more condensed narrative. It takes place over 6 years and bounces back in between him and his girlfriend and their relationship from the beginning of it to the end of it. And there's some slight sci-fi elements to it that maybe doesn't work well, but it's just a very good romantic dramedy with a little bit more dramedy than comedy. But if you like 500 Days of Summer or the Before Sunrise movies, you should check it out.
Cool. Well, I guess that wraps it up for us. I don't know what we're gonna try and watch next.
I think we should do a classic movie.
Yeah. We'll get that figured out, and we'll post it on the Facebook page and let everyone know. So maybe somebody will want to watch it before they listen to us.
Do you have an opinion on any of the movies we have discussed? You can email us at movietakespodcast@gmail.com, or you can email me at danielmcfadden@gmail.com. It's all lowercase. Last name is spelled McFadin. And you can follow me on Twitter with that exact same name, Daniel McFadden.
Yeah, and we're Movie Takes Pod on Twitter. On Facebook, it's /MovieTakes. Email us movieTakesPodcast@gmail.com, whatever.
Tell your friends.
Communicate with us however you see fit. Just communicate with us,
please.
Just
We're bored.
Just a little bit.
Just send an emoticon, maybe. Just let us know you were listening.
Smiley face or frowny face?
Thumbs up or thumbs down. All right, I'm Daniel.
James.
And this has been Movie Takes.